fix my external transmission leak by installing the short shifter. So it's a cube short shifter, and they're from Australia. I ordered it like Friday or Thursday, and it's already here Monday, so super fast shipping. And let's see a before and after of the slop. So R154 shift like garbage. Let's get this out of here. There. Look at that. So right here. And a lot of times when I first started driving this, I would shift and not quite make it to third gear. I'd hit in between first and third. Because the throws are so long and this long stick doesn't work. So these vent through the shifter, but this has a This has a modified custom thing. There's diamond plate, I think, glued in, and I hope that isn't my own problem. But it's gross. So that's literally one plate right there that vents everything. Look, gear oil there, gear oil there, gear oil there, inside the car. That's crazy, it's blue. Fuck. So yeah, I think with that shifter, it's a better seal right here, and the seal will be up here. So it'll be higher, because I think the gear oil with the G's the drift car has, it gets stuck in this extended box and it just pukes right out. So if you're gonna 1J swap your car, I recommend don't get the first generation R154. Get the one with the tripod shifter. Drift Motion sells them for like $2,300, all brand new. So it's not a 30-year-old tranny, which that's probably what mine is. 30 years old, and it's being beat on. Imagine a brand new tranny, it'd be like no issues ever. And to make this better, that bolt and that bolt are completely stripped. So it's only that one and that one that's holding my shifter in. Fucking terrible. Make sure it's at neutral. Okay. Oh, and drop some bolt. Trying to get that last little bit of RTV out of there. So I'm pretty sure this is a stock modified one, but here's the difference. So this was like the only thing was keeping the gear oil from shooting out the top. But what makes it a short shifter is the length between here and here. Like, look how much longer it is right here. So my theory is, since this one has a better than just this plate, and it's this much higher than this ever would be, and that looks much more sealed than that plate could ever be. I still gotta tighten these, and that's way beefier than this. And this has been custom extended, not by me, by the previous owner. Looks like TIG welded. So I've been running 2 bolts on here, so I might just run 2 bolts on here and RTV and all that. Or I might try to like weld and get to the stock stud, weld a nut to it. But it's pretty far deep in there, so I don't know if that's even possible. I could drill it out and blah blah blah, but I don't want any metal shavings right next to fall into my transmission. Threaded, so there's no nuts on the end and it's attached. And there's a lock washer. So you'll never have a failure right there, which is pretty cool. 3 things preventing this from getting loose. And you could Loctite it, which would be way too much overkill. So I only have 2 bolts in there because that's all I can do until I figure out how to get those other ones out, if I want to drill them out or weld on it. But ready? That's it. First gear. That's first gear. Neutral. Second. There's the reverse. So now look how much higher the vent is. It's up here instead of down right there. So I'm hoping that will help. And the vent has to go through that big ball shifter. So I'm hoping it's 90% better because, and right there is my exhaust. So my car looks like it's on fire all the time. The staff at Evergreen is probably getting mad at me for leaking oil and looking like I'm on fire. Like, why would I want gear oil inside my car? It permanently smells like gear oil in here. Third. I think I like it. It's super tall, which is normally really annoying, but the throws are so short. Since there's only 2 bolts in there, you can see the box moving. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. But I fucking love it, that's so sick. So playing around with it, as you can see, it's actually, hopefully, not broken bolts, it's just filled with silicone. The first couple of threads are stripped, you can kind of tell. First 4 or 5. But down below, like I thought that one was stripped, but it just had, I thought I had a broken bolt in it, but it just had a bunch of silicone in it. So that's what I think this one is too. Oh, that's gross. You have to like make sure you don't drop any down the transmission, because it could block off oil passage and then your transmission's toast. So maybe I got lucky, kinda, and get this shit out of here. So I just dodged a major bullet. So this one and this one are stripped, like the first 4 threads. And before, since the owner before me knew they were stripped, he packed a bunch of RTV in there so the bolt had something to grab onto. But I was digging around there with a drill bit and cleaned it out the best I could, but the threads are okay. Like, I'll show you how small the bolts used to be. Like, that was probably only holding on by like 4 threads anyways. And disclaimer, I didn't do the shifter and I didn't do the extension. It came like that. And hopefully that isn't one of the things that's leaking. But yeah, so far this has been awesome. The gear oil I run, but this is about half full. And this is the only red line I can get locally. So I'm gonna top it off with this. And if that fills it up, great. If it doesn't, I'm gonna put like barely any of this just to make sure it's full. So let's do this. Got my funnel. Okay, so let's put it all in. I don't know if that's too much or not enough, so I'm just gonna wait until it drips out. I've shown this in other, hold on, let me get under here. So I've shown this in other videos. That's the side fill. And once it pours out of that, you know it's full. But the owner before me drilled and tapped it and put an AN line. And he ran it to a catch can. And I have it ran, it's unplugged right now. But I have it ran to a, just like a overfill catch can. I've shown it in another video, it's kind of ghetto. It doesn't really work because when you drift, the oil sloshes around. Yeah, it just doesn't work. But look how great this shit is. It's my exhaust. Driveline soaking wet. Everything covered in gear oil. All the way back. Subframe. Oh, I've never seen the subframe since. Oh, it's so bad. So I'm gonna brake clean the shit out of all this to make sure it's venting out the shifter. I think it is because when we tuned it, there was nothing there and the gear oil sprayed through the shifter, up to the roof and over his laptop and over all of us. So that wasn't fun. So I just topped it off with the MT90. And it's coming out. So I'm gonna let it drip for a little bit. So it's all topped off. I did a thin amount of RTV. Go around the edge, make sure there's not too much. You just need a little bit, you don't need too much. So thank God I can get all these tight. They're actually threading in and they're getting tight. So happy and grateful because this would have been so hard. And as you can tell, I did RTV on the top and the bottom, so I can only vent through this. And this vent is way higher. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I hope it does. Okay, that's pretty tight. And for my KA transmission, I can put this boot over it so it won't come into the cabin. If it does leak, it'll just go under the car. But I'm gonna clean up the RTV so it doesn't look like I put any on there and see how it works. Okay, so right here, it's first gear. Look at that. So right here. So look at that. Before it'd be like way back here. Okay, let's test the shifter out. First gear. I say the shifter was a pretty good buy. You can see all the old gear oil burn off my exhaust. Maybe you can't see it, it's kind of like right here. It's fucking annoying and I fucking hate it. But that's all old residual. The only way I'll know if this vent works is to redline the shit out of it, because once it builds all that pressure, it's spews out of here, and I'm not going to do that street driving, just around my neighborhood. But I like this shifter. We'll try something silly and see if we can do a burnout on wood. So it instantly tried to catch fire. This was like 2 seconds. It's freaking down in there. Well, I guess that's how that works. That was pretty interesting. This is how you do burnouts and not fuck up the pavement. Makes a smoky burnout, but your car would probably catch on fire if you kept going. And I didn't want to make any black marks on actual pavement, so that was all I had. And it smells like wood fire in here, which is hilarious. But the shifter did not leak, and that's the only test I'm going to do for this video. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one.